Hi guys, and welcome to Train Smart Worldwide. Thanks for stopping by. I was talking to a fellow trainer the other day, and he's a triathlon trainer, so he tends not to really work with too much weights, but he was telling me, he's like, yeah, every time I try to work with a kettlebell, I always hurt my lower back. And I was like, well, you're not doing it right, dude. So I just thought about it, and I was like, you know what? A lot of people probably have no idea what to do with a kettlebell. The gym that I used to work at, people had no clue. They would just do regular, presses and, bicep curls and regular bodybuilding type exercises with the kettlebell. So I'm going to do a little series. So I'll do a couple videos on this coming up, so that way they're not like 20 minutes long. But today, what I wanted to show you was how to train yourself and set yourself up properly to move the kettlebell. And we're going to do the basic swing and a basic kind of like a basic squat movement today as well. So the first thing that you should usually do with kettlebells, you want to load up a little bit more weight than what you typically would, because a lot of the movements that we'll do in the exercises are power movements. So that means like it's a lot of momentum and a lot of like your butt, hips, thighs, core. It's a big power drive and a power movement. So I'm going to grab my larger kettlebell here. It's a pretty decent size. It is 16 kilograms, so just under 40 pounds. And the first thing that you want to do is you want to get against a wall, and you're going to stand feet about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider, whatever comfortable stance is. You're going to get up against the wall, you're going to turn and face towards the wall, and you want to be within like a solid 6 inches from the wall, really no farther. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to hang on to the bell with 2 hands, just like a horn. I'm just going to let it hang down. First thing you want to do is you want to keep your shoulder blades engaged and not let it pull you forward, okay? So stand nice and tall, keep your posture, and keep your shoulder blades engaged. Then you're going to turn towards the wall, get your 6 inches away, and you're going to drop down, keeping your weight in your heels, and obviously you don't want to bang your head into the wall. So you're going to look straight ahead, not turning your head, do not cheat. And you're going to drop your butt down as far as you can, trying to reach the bell all the way down to the floor, like this. And at the top, you want to give a little bit of a booty pop, like you're pinching a penny in those cheeks. So, nice and simple. If you were to see it from a side view, but make sure that you get up against a wall. This is what's going to keep you honest. So that way, a lot of times what happens is people's heads will drop forward, either because they are too tight in certain muscles or because they have a weak core. So make sure that you get up against the wall, and that's your first goal, is to really just get that bell all the way down to the floor and stand up and be able to get that movement down. The next thing that you're going to do, just to kind of get the movement, you're going to go away from the wall and still keeping that bell. What you want to do is to put your feet shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider, comfortable stance. Again, holding onto your bell, and what you're going to do is you're going to squat down, and I want you to place the bell on the floor. The thing is that you need to place it in line with your heels, okay? So it needs to be in line with your heels. So that way, you're automatically loading those glutes. That's your powerhouse. Your glutes are your large muscle that don't get used very often. So we want to fire up those glutes, that booty, and get it working. So you're going to keep your torso upright, sit down and back, weight into the heels. You might feel almost like you're going to fall over, but make sure that you line it up. If you have to look every time until you feel comfortable with it, do that, okay? So lining it up with the heels, making sure you keep your torso upright, and the weight's going to be shifted into your heels, okay? And keep those shoulder blades there. So then once you've gotten those 2 down, and it might take like a week or 2 to practice with those, and really start to train your body. But then you want to go into the basic swing, okay? So we would start loaded up so that we have the weight right behind our heels. We're loading our glutes, and then we're going to drive it forward. Then it stays right in our groin area, and we drive with our hips, right? So I'll show you from the side so that way you can check it out. What you want to do is you want to start again so that that kettlebell is right behind, let me back up a little bit, right behind and lined up with your heels. And then you drive up and it stays in that groin area. The bell, good. The bell should never go below your knees. Then you're going to start using more of your lower back. So you want to use drive with the glutes, use the hips. And so you're going to keep it right in that groin area. I know it's kind of scary for the guys and everything else. You'll get over it. You'll be fine. It's not a big deal. You're not going to hurt yourself. So keep your chest up. Keep your shoulder blades engaged. And use that butt. So you're going to drive with the hips. And then the arms are just along for the ride. So practice that. Check it out. You can actually buy kettlebells here on Train Smart Worldwide. You can click, am I pointing the right way? You can click right over there. I forget which side it is. On the right side of the page, I just made it my featured product of the week or so. So you can buy kettlebells just by clicking right on that. It'll take you right to it. There's all different types, sizes. Like I said, I used a 16 kilogram. That's pretty standard for me right now. If you're a female, you might want to buy one lower than that, or 16. If you're a guy, you might want to start out with a 16 and then go up a little bit higher, depending on what your strength level is. But yeah, you want one lighter one and one heavy one. So good luck with that. Go buy those kettlebells and get started. It's a different way to attack, your body, and so that way you don't get used to it and adapt. You want to always change it up. We've been talking about that a lot lately. So this is a great way to change it up. Something new to check out if you haven't done it yet. So check out and do those first couple things up against the wall. Make sure you set yourself up properly so that way you don't injure yourself and you don't hurt your lower back. And write to me on my forum and let me know how you liked it and how you're doing your kettlebell work. I'd love to hear all about it. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by, TrainSmartWorldwide.com.